Hey everybody, how are you guys doing? Let's see, it's Monday, April 11th, and I just wanted to try to regroup here and get back into the 90-day run, like 90 days later, right? It seems like it's been a long time since we've been in India already. We got back March 13th, and it's almost been a month now since I've been able to get back on the momentum. See, once you stop, things are really hard to get back on track, right? And so I wanted to ask you a question. What stops you in your tracks? Like, what stops you? Like, why did we get stopped? Well, something big event got planned and got in the middle of it, right? And I was noticing Eric Worre when he was doing his trainings. I mean, he flew to Dubai, he flew to Paris. I mean, he did all these things in the middle of this 90-day run and was still able to connect and catch jump in and do a day every day on the 90-day run. And I wasn't able to do that. And that is just really incredible to me that somebody was able to keep that momentum going. And so what is that quality of leader that's able to do that? That really brought some really good things to mind. And it's kind of like going on a diet. You do really well because you have that excitement, that why, that interest of what's taking you to those places, those goals, right? But that why has to be strong enough and really impactful to make it happen. And so the minute you cheat or stop doing your diet, then how are you able to jump back on? What makes you be able to start back up, forgive yourself, move on, and keep going forward? And everybody's different. Everybody has a different reason or a different why or a different push or a different love or whatever that is. And let's take a moment and evaluate what those things are for you. I would like you to really stop right now and see what things are that really stop you in your tracks. What stops you from your 90-day run? What stops you when you're doing a diet? What stops you from having things work for you? And for me, I have that little voice in my head that can say a lot, right? It can really tell me a lot of different things that aren't true. And really want to up-level myself into a leader that can fly all over the world and still be committed to doing a daily video, a daily lesson, a daily learning and training thing for everybody. It's just, wow, that's my goal. I really want to be able to be there, be on time, be always committed to making a difference. And I recognize that when I was doing doTERRA part-time, I mean, I was working so many hours at our print shop before we sold it. And I was still able to continue doing classes and doing all these things when I had no time. And so what kind of a leader is that that's able to still keep doing things even when you don't have time? And, and what makes that happen? Well, I recognize that there's so much value in having classes and doing all these things. I love that. And when we went to India, I was there with you. Like, I didn't connect the dots in my mind that this 90-day run is still very present to many of you who are committed to making it happen. But I want to know if you can write in your chat below, what stops you, and to really think about what those things are that stop you. If you could just take a minute and write that down and share with us in the chat, because I think when you share what stops you, you're able then to put it out on the table and have some accountability to recognizing that. Because when we've been practicing every day, prospecting, calling, following up, doing classes, ordering the oils, doing all these things as daily activities, and we're going to call those the daily method of operation, things you do on a daily basis that are money-making activities. And so, when you look at what those money-making activities are and what stops you or what holds you or hooks you back from actually doing those, you have to really remember what your why is and that it's stronger than that hook. Like going onto social media and checking things out instead of being on social media and being intentional to find leads and to prospect, right? So there's two different ways of being there or doing something. And so I wanted to also take this to another conversation. Same conversation, but just a different twist to it. So when you're thinking about what kind of a leader you are and how you were being in the 90-day run and what stopped you, what kind of leader are you looking for? Like, what kind of a leader are you really wanting to have on your top line, on your team to help you run with you, right? Help you build an amazing team and go many places with that. What kind of a leader is that? And so we want to take and write down as many things as you want. Take and write those down and really talk about what those things could be. So I wrote some things for me, like what a committed leader is for me. So I want somebody who's coachable, right? Because if we're going to work together as a team, I want somebody who's coachable. Okay? And this is qualities of a leader. Can you read that from there? Qualities, oh, it's backwards. I wonder how you can make that not be that way. I have to figure that out. So quality of a leader. And so you want to be coachable. I want people on my team that we can share together, work together, elaborate, collaborate, and really work on things that can help move us forward. Another thing that I want is someone who's self-motivated. Now this is huge for me. I'm a very self-motivated person, right? And something that really irritates me is when somebody doesn't stop and take the initiative to actually do something on their own. They want you to do it for them. They wait until you catch them. I'm not going to babysit people. I'm the world's worst babysitter. Seriously, when I was growing up and neighbors would ask me to babysit their kids, I was horrible at it. And it's just not that I don't care about the child or have love for the child. It's just that it's just not my forte. I'm just not good at following up. Hey, did you clean up your room? Hey, I can barely keep track of myself, let alone them, right? So I want people to be self-motivated. That's really important to me. Okay, and the next thing is I want somebody who's hungry. Like I want somebody who is going to be seriously, like these things are non-negotiable to me. I want my leaders who are going to be on my top line to be these qualities. It's non-negotiable. Like to be hungry is you want to want more. You want it. You're just ready for more. And it's just like, that's motivating you. That's keeping you moving forward. I want people positive. There's so much negativity in the world, and I just don't have time anymore. I'm noticing that one of the things that I've learned over the last couple of years, there's so much negativeness, and it can drag you into a conversation that has a lower vibration. And when you're down there in the world with lower vibration people, it's toxic. And it's very difficult, really, to pull yourself up and have a positive conversation. Have you noticed that you just love hanging around people that are up to something and happy to be with? So who are you trying to attract, right? So I love to be around people who are positive. And then work ethic. I want people with an amazing work ethic. Work ethic is, I was really, growing up, I was very fortunate to have a family that kicked my butt. My mom and dad, they worked. They had my dad. Oh my gosh, he worked full time as a forest ranger. So he was out in the woods, working with the trees, and then he came home on the weekends and evenings, and he built a grocery store, and he built a mini mall, which means there was a post office, a gift shop, a beauty salon. He built the building and rented out those spaces. So he took care of all those spaces. And then above that were 5 apartments. And then he built a restaurant. And then every year it seemed like he would buy another house and move it on some property, and he'd rent it out. And us kids were always the ones mowing the lawn, painting, cleaning after renters, doing things and fixing. there was always something going on that we had to be doing. We didn't have a TV growing up. We didn't have computers growing up. We didn't have anything like that. Our extra time was spent doing things and making a difference for others, for their homes, for their properties and stuff like that. So work ethic is extremely, extremely important to me. And I think when I go along with that, probably like in this work ethic and self-motivated is to be goal orientated, to have goals in front of you, to be looking at your goals, looking at your your time calendar, making sure everything is filled up in there, and to be moving forward with daily method of operation money making activities. And I was training another girlfriend of mine who was saying, Becky, I'm all over the place. I need to be focused. I need to be structured. That is really great. She recognizes an area that that is a weak area, which we all have weak areas. Now that's a weak area for me too, is to be able to stay focused and structured, right? And so one of the things that I want you to do, and I don't know if you could see this chart, yeah, you can kind of see it, is I want you to take a minute, and if you have more items than just my 5, or you have other ones, that's perfectly fine. Now I want to ask you a question. This question is really a good question. You ready? If you were to draw a line on this paper and cut it in half here, and then on the opposite side, rate yourself between 1 and 10, 1 being terrible, 10 being great. Are you coachable? Like, if this is my top thing that I want for my leaders, how am I? How do I show up for my leaders? Am I coachable? You know, so go through and ask what you wrote down as your top 10 things or your top 5 things for your leaders, and see if they're coachable. And see if you're coachable. I guess is what I'm trying to say. So this, evaluate yourself if you're showing up, that you're expecting your leaders to show up. Are you self-motivated? Are you hungry? Are you positive? And how is your work ethic? And this is where that self-development shows up. If you're expecting your leaders to actually have these characteristics, that's amazing, that's great. But do you have them? And so if not, then you want to attract these kinds of people. And how are you going to attract them if you don't have the same attractiveness to it, right? So coachable, self-motivated. So for me to be self-motivated, how do I motivate others? And is it a lot of work if I'm dragging them along, or if they're doing it themselves? I mean, that's just, it really huge makes a difference if I can do that and show them that it's very easy to do. Okay, so now that's an exercise. So you have 2 assignments. The first assignment is you're going to write down your top 5 or 10 points, qualifying points for your leaders. Like, what are you looking for in your leader? It can be 20, it doesn't matter. And actually, to be honest with you, if you have more, and then you're going to evaluate yourself to see if you match up, like if you're going to be attractive and attracting those kinds of people and that. And then what you want to do is you want to actually think about assignment number 2 is what stops you in your motion? What stops you in what's happening in your goals? So we were doing a 90-day run. And right after we planned the 90-day run and was going through it, and I was doing a really good job every day, putting a post in there and doing stuff like that. And then we started planning for a trip to India, and then we went to India, and then it got to be real difficult to do that. And I recognize that it was terrible for me. I'm not beating myself up. I'm just recognizing that something stopped me that had me not be there for you and show up every day. And that's not the kind of leader I want to be. So to be the kind of attractive leader that you're looking for is someone that makes it work no matter what. Someone who's able to be committed no matter what. And so that's what I'm working on. And I'm going to go back to the 30 days that we've missed for the whole month of March and the last few days of April, and I'm going to finish the 90-day run, and then I want to start it over again. And this is so exciting. So if you want to be a part of the next 90-day run, I want to go back and recreate everything all over again. And I'd love for you guys to actually join me and help me recreate some of those days and participate. And let's make this group even more than it is right now. Bring more people in that's on your downline. And let's make a difference on really reaching lots of people with these beautiful oils and actually self-improving ourselves on a daily basis. And I've noticed what was so cool about every day connecting, every day committing, every day creating a training, every day making something happen. It was building me up too. So learning to teach and teaching to learn is part of being a really powerful and effective leader. You know, like that could be one of the things on the list, is to show up every day. And so I would love to hear what those things are for you, what the breakdowns were for you in the 90-day run, and let's just do it again. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing your comments. Please private message me or text me any comments that you have and how you'd like to be a part of this next 30 days. I'm going to be showing up for the next 30 days to recreate what we missed. And then, let's see, that will probably be May 1st. Probably around the May 1st, we'll start again on the 90-day run. So let's build that up. Let's make it happen. And God bless you guys. Talk to you soon.